So I do think this fight is actually something a lot of you would actually enjoy and be grateful for me doing. Scarlet Witch versus the Almighty Jean Grey Phoenix and the MCU. I think this is a wonderful fight, so let's get right into it. So as for Scarlet Witch, her for strength, she stops an off-road train from moving any further. I'm going to start from like little and go up. She tears apart a gigantic replica of Ultron, pulls down over a dozen cars at Tony or Iron Man from a parking garage much faster than he could counter, avoid, and quickly overwhelming him. Iron Man could dodge copious amounts of falling rubble, slows down a falling air traffic control tower to allow Captain America and Winter Soldier passage underneath it until War Machine interrupts her with a sonic blast. Now this is Wanda Maximoff's feats. The Scarlet Witch feats are very different, but as Wanda Maximoff, she holds an oncoming wave of threshers, lifts them up, then hauls them into a horde of outriders advancing towards her from behind, splitting them in half as she does it with her and her allies positioned safely between them. Now, she blocks Thanos' downward strike. Now, this is where we're getting to a better part. And blasts his sword out of his hand. Thanos is applying both the weight of the sword and himself, yet Wanda manages to keep him at bay with only one hand long enough to defuse the situation with the other. Thanos is comparable to the Hulk in terms of strength, actually a lot stronger, but yeah, leaves Thanos in the air along with numerous rocks in his vicinity and starts pinning off pieces of his armor. She sufficiently incapacitates Thanos to the extent that he is forced to call on airstrike at the cost of his own troops in order to stop her. That is crazy impressive. She holds a Leviathan by its jaw and stirs it away from Valkyrie's path casually. Even the Hulk had to exert a degree of effort to accomplish a similar feat, who also had the addition of his body weight to help with that. So even Wanda Maximoff is already like scaling to like the multi-planet levels, comparing how strong Thanos is, and this is low ball. When we now start talking Scarlet Witch, now that's where the problem is. So recently in the Multiverse of Madness, America Chavez is actually powerful, has the power to move from universe to universe, and not just that, the punches she releases the power to move through universes, which turn through this vacuum of space and time. And she has been to 73 universes in the infinite multiverse. Wanda literally could ghost walk, or so what do they call it in the movie again, through another timeline out of the infinite multiverse, which means she literally sat down, checked for the best suitable timeline for her out of infinite universes, and took over her consciousness across infinite universes to another Wanda, which is easily a multiversal feat. What else? And at the end of the movie, she literally killed herself. I don't think Wanda is dead, but literally she destroyed the Darkhold across all the multiverses, and each Doctor Strange and Wanda is capable of destroying, causing an incursion which causes a universe or two universes to destroy. So Wanda is easily like high 1A out of her. So because we already know that the multiverses contain infinite dimensional constructs, and there's a dark dimension which Doctor Strange has already gotten to that extent, so Wanda scales easily to that place. That is insane. Scarlet Witch is insane. I think Wanda is the best suitable battle for. I mean, the Wanda at the end of the day scales to Thanos, who is stronger than Infinity Stones, and the Infinity Stones scale to the Abstracts, and the Abstracts literally scale to Multiversal, as we saw in Thor: Love and Thunder. So she's impressive. As for speed, she deflects an incoming Ultron. She reacts to automatic gunfire in time to react. Since it's literally all these like feats are like easily Mac feats, and then we all know that everyone scales to, at least the high tier scale to Carol Danvers, who is FTO, or massively faster than light, and that is casually. And then we also know that Multiversal AP will likely revert to irrelevant speed, but we won't go there. We'll leave it at FTO plus. Now, as for durability, it will scale to her attack potency, but will it? Yes, it does, because she was literally tanking attack. She literally tanked a punch from America Chavez that ripped through, I think, how many universes did it open up to? I think about 4. So and that is the force to open through universes. different space times. And Wanda like just tanks the punch and like she shrugs it off. She's like casually like using like high 1B universal feats on her body is nothing. And then as for Hack's abilities, do I really need to mention all that? But yeah, she has telekinesis, as she draws a substantial volume of toxic gas from, like, I don't even need to go all that, but Wanda can control the mind. She can take over your body, and she's more powerful than you. That is even worse. So, well, Wanda Maximoff is really powerful. Now let's go to the Phoenix Force Jean Grey, and I don't think we should sleep on her because she has some good feats. Let's start with the fact that she controls and absorbs the cosmic entity into herself and becomes one with the Phoenix.
The genetic reading I'm going to take another look at.
What can't be right?
Did you just read my mind without permission?
Sorry, I didn't mean to, but what can't be right?
Whatever happened up there made you stronger. You know, I've never seen a power reading like this. You're literally, you're off the charts.
So what does that mean?
It means, we'll have to build a better machine. But
her power levels are off the charts, higher than anything Beast has seen thus far, which I think at that point includes Apocalypse. No, that it hadn't included Apocalypse, but Apocalypse is still weaker than her. But he's part of the MCU, but would I say current MCU? I would just say like Beast is very smart, and then he must have done researches on multiversal things and all that and theories, and then she had more power than that. So that should be a decent feat of its own, and I think that can be backed up by the next few things I'm about to mention. The Phoenix Force entity is capable of destroying planets or recreate entirely new ones.
And it was not an accident. It was drawn to you.
What was it?
A pure and unimaginably powerful cosmic force. We saw it enter you in space. We were there, Jean, following that force.
Why?
Because it's the spark that gave life to the universe, and the flame that consumed my world. With my help, you could control what's inside you. Harness that power to create whole new worlds. Turn dust into water. Water into life. It's your destiny, Jean.
Flies into outer space and transforms fully into the Phoenix, disintegrating the alien leader along with her own physical form. It is also important to know that it's actually stated that the Phoenix Force literally gives all life to universe. And if we are going to say this MCU is the same as the MCU we are looking at now, then she would literally still scale above all the cosmic abstracts, because that's the natural role of the Phoenix. Everything it touches burns in creation. She gave life. Even the comics as well, like abstracts go to recharge themselves. So it's like that would scale above Wonder. And so, but we'll just leave it at universal, which is fair. Another thing is that she literally disintegrates Apocalypse. Now, with cooperation from Magneto, Jean rebuilds the X-Mansion. Let this be known that Apocalypse is at least planet level. He was able to give Magneto so much amp that Magneto could control all the metal on Earth. He lifted every heavy thing you can think of, including ships from under the ocean floor, and should be able to cause tectonic issues. He also armed Xavier's mind to be planetary telepath, which is cool, you know. Next thing here is durability. She survives being in the middle of the giant explosion, yada yada. She's unfazed when impaled with a metal bar, disintegrating the bar and the attacker. Quite cool. As for speed, she responds to Quicksilver, tossing him to the side telepathically and redirects Storm's lightning after it's fired. Casually above lightning, casually above light speed, because Quicksilver is actually light speed in this show. As for hacks, well, let's see. She does have a decent amount of hacks actually. She has telekinesis. She catches a bunch of drop books and reorders them. She basically also has reality warping, just like Wanda. Wanda actually has total reality warping across the multiverse, which was verbatim stated. Just I don't have all this. If you want to hear all this, go watch the movie. She unlocks Wolverine's blah, that is irrelevant. When Apocalypse was overpowered Professor X in the Mindscape, Jean steps into Professor X's mind to combat Apocalypse. She ends up obliterating his presence in this Mindscape. Let's be letting know that the Mindscape is actually infinite as it connects to all the human collective unconscious in this movie. And then Professor X actually pulls a very impressive feat. He can only control it on Earth and to a limited range. But Jean Grey can collect every human's thought and mind, and even that of Apocalypse, which is a whole different space of its own, which could even get to the multiversal levels of power. So that is actually pretty impressive. She has telepathy, she can read minds. Professor X cannot see or affect her mind. Even with Cerebro, Jean is able to dismiss Professor X from her mind.
I want you to remain calm, and I'd like you to focus on my voice.
Get out of my head.
Just stay calm. She's fighting me. I need you to turn it up.
I hurt my father.
He's alive.
You're just feeling things. Change your mind. It means rest.
You're lying to me. I can sense it.
Turn it up.
It's too much already.
Don't do it again.
Hank.
No, I won't do it.
For God's sake, Charles.
Get out of my head!
Charles! Charles!
She observes a 20-year-old memory in her father's mind.
Don't forget what you did.
Puts Cyclops to sleep with a gesture, puts her father to sleep easily, makes herself look and sound like a complete different person to a bartender, shape-shifting, can draw Professor X into her mindscape while unconscious, literally, and she can just like command you to do something, like an authority manipulation. Now that's a problem for Wanda. Now, looking at how powerful both these characters are, if you want to use a collective feat and equate that MCU, because I keep saying that these previous Marvel movies are still gotten, like, they're not done by Marvel Studios, but these companies have permission for Marvel, so I firmly still believe they're part of the MCU, which I think in the future they will be brought back. Especially, actually, this current the previous, actually this Phoenix Force one, I think it's part of the MCU. Let me be sure about that. So I just clarified they're on Disney Plus, but they're all owned by Marvel. But but it's like they're not part of the cinematic universe. But as long as they're owned by Marvel, I'm firmly sure they're going to come back and they will be part of the cinematic universe. I think they're just like one of those universes out there in the multiverse, which I firmly believe. So if you want to put this into perspective, the Phoenix Force was scaled actually above the Darkhold, arguably, or like you say, they are relative. But aside from that, we have Universal, Phoenix Force, and infinite multiverse, so Scarlet Witch. And so Scarlet Witch just literally storms her. Her hacks may work, it may not work, because Doctor Strange has more hacks than anyone you can think of. And I'm sure he figured that every other thing will be useless. So they had to use like levels of multiversal power to beat Wanda. So I do think Phoenix Force was powerful, and it could the sides could easily change depending on if you can argue or you can find evidence that it is part of the MCU. Then the Phoenix Force literally gives life to all that is in the Marvel universe, if both even in the comics. So that would upscale the Phoenix Force above Wanda, and like she has authority, manipulation, hacks is GG. But other than that, Wanda slaps for now. So if you found this video informative, if you liked it, then please do to like, share, comment, subscribe, and see you next time. Peace.